I'm not really sure how to start off this chapter review, and I'm certain a lot of you guys are on the same page as me in that regard. What the fuck did I just read? It seems like there's no line Tatsuki Fujimoto isn't willing to cross in Chainsaw Man Part 2, so let's just try our best to put our shock aside, because there is a lot to cover in today's very bizarre chapter review video. But first, class is once again in session. I've linked a poll at the top of the description where you guys can vote on what grade you think this chapter of Chainsaw Man should get, A, B, C, D, or F. And in next week's chapter review video, we'll go over the overall chapter GPA of that chapter, as well as some of your guys' comments on this video right here. Speaking of which, let's just quickly look at your guys' thoughts of chapter 104. I'm pretty sure that chapter voting poll got something like 270 votes, so thank you guys so much for voting, and the overall GPA for chapter 104 was 3.81. It's once again fantastic numbers. Chainsaw Man Part 2 keeps delivering for us fans. We're eating good. But now let's just look at some of your guys' comments. Stranger says, love the little references to Part 1. Like Denji saying he won't let a dude sit on him, but in Part 1, Aki sat on him, which also sets subtle parallels between Yoshida and Aki. I still kind of feel like Yoshida and Aki fulfill different roles in Chainsaw Man Part 1 and Part 2, but I do notice there's also a lot of similarities, and it's pretty undeniable that that probably is a parallel to Part 1 with Aki. It's just a classic Jaku Jonesu L. So we'll move on from that before I say something just blatantly wrong again. Coffin says, did you catch the cake shirt? The start of the chapter had Asa wearing a shirt that says cake. The previous chapter, Denji ate a cake. Asa will be Denji's cake. You know what? I think that comment stands perfectly on its own. I don't think I should add anything to that. So I'll just let it sit with you. Maybe the cake shirt actually did have some deeper meaning. Thank you guys so much for all of your comments. Remember to leave a comment on this video if there's something you wanted to talk about or discuss, and maybe we'll look at it in next week's chapter review video as well. And while you're down in the description checking out the voting link, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot, and I appreciate y'all so much if you do. Now with that filthy YouTuber behavior out of the way, let's talk about the chapter. There's a clear elephant in the room with this chapter, but I'm gonna need you guys to bear with me, because in typical Fujimoto fashion, the wacky latter end of the chapter has once again overshadowed the equally important front-end exposition. As we get deeper and deeper into Chainsaw Man Part 2, one thing is becoming pretty clear, and that one thing is that Yoru is just socially pathetic. She throws tantrums whenever she doesn't get what she wants, and she's a big crybaby when Asa calls her an idiot. The funniest part is that this is the one time Yoru is actually right. It's like solving a math problem with the wrong occasion, but still getting the right answer. I'm personally growing to love this big crybaby side of Yoru, but it is important to remember that she is still a very powerful devil, and this is an incredibly dangerous combination. So far, Asa's done a pretty great job of keeping Yoru in check, but if Yoru decides just once not to listen to her, the consequences could be catastrophic. My biggest question about this Asa and Yoru interaction from the beginning of the chapter is, why didn't Yoru hear when Asa said in her head, maybe I can tame her? Unless Yoru was actually bluffing in chapter 99 when she said that she could hear all of Asa's thoughts. It could have just been a really good guess that she knew what Asa was thinking. Either way, at this point, I'm just dying to talk about what happened with Yuko in this chapter, so let's just put a pin in this little moment right here and we'll bring it back up in future chapter reviews. So I feel like I have a lot to say about this epic gamer moment from Yuko, but I'm still so shocked from what I just read, so I'm gonna try to talk about everything my reptilian brain can remember. So first of all, let's look on the bright side. At least this takes care of the crazy event at school to lure Chainsaw Man out into the open. But while we're so preoccupied thinking about Yuko's sudden yandere change of winds, we're all forgetting about a very key player in this whole debacle. What does the Justice Devil want from all of this? It's too easy to say that the Justice Devil is like all other devils and just wants the death of all humans. Part of me thinks that the Justice Devil either has some sort of unknown past connection to Asa, or they're an old follower of Chainsaw Man or something like that. Either way, the Justice Devil seems to have some kind of ulterior motive to all of this. I know I say this like every time something wacky happens in a new chapter of Chainsaw Man, but this feels like the Family Burger chapter all over again. Another thing I wanted to talk about is this truly Yuko's intentions, or is this a devil contract gone wrong? With the confirmation that civilians forming devil contracts being illegal, maybe we can view what happened with Yuko and the class president as a bootleg devil contract gone wrong. It's like buying moonshine. You can get a government-regulated bottle from a liquor store, or you can buy the shit that makes you blind from Cletus's backwoods distillery. They each had their reasons for forming the devil contract in the first place. Class president because she wants to preserve her relationship with Tanaka-sensei, and Yuko because she wants to be able to have the power to protect Asa and herself. But then the Justice Devil corrupts them and they they act out in catastrophic ways. I personally don't believe that Yuko was killing her neighbors before this contract, so it's safe to say that there's some devil trickery afoot. Other than that, I'm just incredibly shocked that Fujimoto pulled a "don't come to school tomorrow." And this isn't even an English translation localization thing. I read the Japanese version too, and she literally says, "Ashita gakko konaide." Don't come to school tomorrow. So, yeah, he went there. That's about all for today's chapter review video. If you like this series, let me know by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Make sure to stay up to date by hitting the bell button down below so you'll know every time I post a new chapter review video, as well as my other quirky Chainsaw Man or other anime and manga related videos. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I have links to all of my social medias down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay.